is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on the Burndown YouTube channel. We are back in action on this guy. So, recap. We just got back from LS Fest West 2022 in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And man, we had a great time. We did wonderful. We made it there and back. This thing was a big hit. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. And I think they have as much fun with it when they see it in person. They just smile and giggle, and you can't just not look at this thing and go, it's ridiculous and it's stupid, but I really want to ride in the thing. So with that, we did run across a couple little issues. So heating is still beating me up a little bit. So it's not like it's terrible and the thing is just, it's undoable and I'm having issues like right at the beginning. In the beginning when we were trying to drive this thing around, man, I couldn't stray too far from home because it was really getting me. But now, we just did like 600 miles with the thing. I did have to pull over a few times, but I noticed something, I think it was yesterday or the other day when I was mobbing this thing around. I did a video when I was doing the converter, so I want to show people how the converter worked for Ryan. And I got home and I parked it, and the ambient temp was a little high when it's sitting. And because of where the temp was, I know the fans are supposed to be zinging because I'm the guy that set it all up, and I'm like, man, that's really odd that those fans aren't able to pull this heat out. Something's kind of weird. So I ended up moving the doghouse back. So my right fan was running hard, and the left fan, technically, you know, from the outside, it would spin and then try to register and stop. And it would spin a little bit and stop, and it wasn't kicking off. And so I played with the adjustments a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on that. So I set the frequency a little higher because I heard it was like 120. Hopefully we're not blowing the audio out with wind. But it was like a 120, and I had mine at 100, so maybe it's a little low. And then it was supposed to be like a 95 zinging. So what I did is I moved that up a little bit, and then I moved the duty cycle down to like 90, so that way it was within the range. So as soon as I changed it, the fan kind of kicked up and did its thing, and boom, the temperature was gone. So I'm almost thinking that kind of got me on the way back, coming up the Baker grade on the backside, because we ran into a little bit of heat and then we had to pull off. So I think that fan, it's either giving up the ghost because it is used out of a junkyard, so I don't know the life of the thing, or maybe the settings need a little tweaking. But regardless, we had that issue. And then the main one, what we're going to address today, long-winded intro way to say, is this guy. So this is my power steering slash Hydro Boost cooler. And I thought just getting that little dude out there, hanging it down like a buck tooth, you know, putting her in open air, getting her out of the heat, that it would help. Well, it did help, and it's helped tremendously. And then I replumbed the reservoir, but when we were coming back, this thing was just getting warm. I think that fan was having an issue, and it was allowing the engine to kind of heat up more than it normally runs. And we're not talking mega hot. We're not even 200, like we're almost around 200, which isn't crazy territory. I know that, but everything behind this just kind of heat soaks and bakes. Like the fuel doesn't like it, and that doesn't like it. So long story short, it did end up, I shut it off, and it ended up puking. It got so hot it puked all the power steering fluid all over the hot side, which was exciting to say the least. So my buddy Turbo Joe came through. He had just replaced the transmission cooler on his truck, old Hopalong with the axle wrap, and he took this off. He said, dude, come get it, this thing will work awesome. So this, as you can see, we're in big boy territory now. So this is way more surface area, much better design. We've got a fan on it. I don't think I'll really need the fan, but since it's there, you know, we might as well party with it. And the main thing is he had the brackets, because fan work just takes forever in a day. So he had this mounted like that to his frame rail. And I think back here up underneath, we're gonna crawl underneath. If I got some room to just hang that dog like this, he even gave me fittings. We'll just hang this thing somewhere easy, probably on this side of the coach, and we'll plumb this guy in, and then we will run this. It's supposed to be nice and warm this week. I'll have lots of good testing with it, but we want to make sure we lick that problem, and then we have some other issues that we need to address, namely a small transmission leak that we're going to have to address. But brakes are first, because if we can take this, I think this is the only real heat, because when the brakes get hot, they drag, and then it just kills everything else. It just makes life difficult for this thing. It kills my gas mileage, which isn't good. So we're gonna address this today. Let's crawl under there, see what we got for room, and we'll get to working. So I was laying under here and trying to decide And I don't want it hanging down like a bucktooth. I'd like to get rid of this. Those are cool because they serve a purpose. This was like, I'm gonna put it here to get fresh air and free air. And then it's congested here. So I started moving back, and I think we're just gonna go with it where it is back here, because this is a big, so I have this guy and this is a big open area. And if you remember, I had a transcooler on that side and it had a problem, but I had it way up top because I had the lines, I think, going over. So we're gonna mount this guy as low as we can on here and give it some headroom. And then I'm gonna put the fan on the bottom and have it suck air and blow it up. So that way, even if this is kind of like just a bubble, it's not getting air, we'll have the fan on the bottom sucking the air up and blowing it. So any air passing beneath it, it should be able to grab it and blow it up onto it. So let me make holes, make sure there's nothing to punch holes on, and we'll just hang this here and we'll try it. I looked at putting it like on the other side to get some fresh air, but then it's by the drive line. So I think this is gonna be our best bet, and the lines will go to the inside. So they'll go from here, and then we'll figure out where to sneak them. Maybe down this side of the frame rail or something. Maybe we can tuck it up and over. We'll figure that out, but let's get it mounted. And then, like I said, I think this guy, like this, something like that. And then we'll just, like I said, get as low as possible. And that way, hopefully that'll work good. And we got enough headroom that it doesn't heat soak, and you know, it actually works. Ta-da! All right, here she is. So we've got some pretty good headroom. We put the fan on the bottom, and then we're just gonna suck air and blow it up. So that way, because hot air gets trapped, so I figure instead of trying to like pull it down, you're just gonna pull all the hot air. We'll blow it out, and that'll move this. So hopefully that'll, you know, circulate it. It's a little off of this, so I don't know. I mean, it's higher than here, so hopefully the air just doesn't pass it by. But we're gonna have a lot more fluid in here, so even just this being an open air, I feel like is gonna help. This thing's pretty rigid. This thing's pretty rigid, and yeah, man, we'll just see. We'll hook this fan and all this fun stuff up, and we'll see if that cures the brake boost, hydro boost, power steering issue. All right, so that's gonna wrap it for today. We got it installed. You guys have seen me make hardline after hardline, so you don't really need to see all that. Same thing with wiring, because I put so many coolers. This is the transmission cooler channel. We'll get it wired up and we'll take it for a spin and let you guys know how it works. Planning on heading to Champion Cooling Systems soon. I will bring you guys along. We're gonna take them for a ride and have some fun, so we can get their reactions and stuff, make sure that they're cool being on camera on here. Or if not, we'll just take for a ride, and we'll let you know how they felt about it. Man, I'm tired. I'm stumbling through my words today, but yeah, if you could tell, I'm feeling a little under the weather, but we're still kind of tinkering. I'm just not pushing it 100. I've been going gangbusters to get back and forth to LS Fest and all that stuff, so we need to get this taken care of though, because like I said, we need to take it out this week. Weather should be beautiful. It's supposed to be nice and warm, which is perfect for trials. You know, you want it to be hot. You don't want it to be nice, cool weather. You want it to be stuff where if you had to motor along, you're just dealing with the weather that's thrown at you. So that is it. You guys know what to do. Like, click the chicken. Till next time, I'm out.